rain hammered down on the cracked highway, turning the desert road into a glistening black mirror. Lightning slashed across the sky, briefly illuminating the rusted sign that read, "Welcome to Blackridge, population 237. Emily Carter tightened her grip on the steering wheel as her old Jeep struggled against the storm. She'd been driving for 12 hours, escaping Los Angeles after a fight with her boyfriend and chasing nothing but silence. Her phone had no signal, her gas gauge flirted with empty, and her GPS had frozen miles ago. When she saw the faint glow of a neon sign up ahead, Motel Haven, she breathed a sigh of relief. She pulled in, the wipers squealing against the windshield as thunder cracked above her. The motel was small, 5 rooms facing a flickering sign. A single light burned in the front office window. Emily ran inside, drenched and shivering. Behind the counter sat an old woman with pale eyes and thin lips. Her name tag read Martha. "Room for one?" Emily asked, brushing water from her jacket. The old woman smiled slowly, showing crooked teeth. "You're just in time. Storm's gonna get worse. We don't get many travelers this late." Emily nodded, signing the guest book. She noticed only one other name above hers, dated 3 weeks ago. "Quiet place, huh?" "Always has been," Martha said. "Been quiet since the mine closed." "The mine?" Martha's gaze drifted toward the window, to the dark hills in the distance. "Old Blackridge mine. Folks said something crawled out of there years ago. Took people, animals, whole families. Then one day it just stopped." Emily chuckled nervously. "Sounds like a local ghost story." Martha didn't laugh. "You just get some sleep, dear. Don't open your door after midnight. You hear wings, you stay still." Emily blinked, unsure if the woman was joking. But exhaustion won out. She took her key, trudged to her room, and collapsed onto the bed. At 12:37 a.m., she woke up to the sound of flapping. It wasn't the rain or the wind. It was distinct. Heavy, leathery wings brushing against the window. She sat up, heart pounding. The power flickered, and a neon light outside flashed red through the curtains. Something scraped against the glass. Emily crept toward the window and pulled the curtain aside, just a little. For a second, she thought she saw a face, elongated animal-like, with glistening eyes and teeth too sharp to be human. Then lightning struck, and it vanished. Her heart hammered in her chest. "It's just the wind," she whispered, trying to convince herself. But then she heard the door handle turn. Emily jumped back, grabbing the bedside lamp. "Who's there?" she demanded, her voice trembling. Silence. Then a deep, wet breathing on the other side of the door. When she looked down, she saw a black liquid seeping in from under the threshold, thick, sticky, and smelling of rot. She stumbled back, knocking the lamp over. The lights went out completely. Then came a scream from another room. Emily bolted to the door, swinging it open. The hallway lights flickered dimly. Room 3's door was wide open, and inside, something moved, something hunched, pale, with wings that dragged across the floor. The air reeked of sulfur. The creature turned its head toward her, and Emily froze. It wasn't a bat. It wasn't human. It was both, something born of hellfire and darkness. Its eyes glowed red as it whispered in a voice that was both male and monstrous. "You shouldn't have come here." Emily slammed the door and ran for the exit. The front office was dark now, but she saw Martha sitting behind the counter, motionless, her eyes open and milky. Her mouth hung open in a silent scream. Outside, the storm had stopped, but the air was thick and hot, as if the world itself was holding its breath. She ran to her Jeep, fumbling with the keys. Her hands shook violently as she turned the ignition. The engine sputtered once, twice, then roared to life. She got down the road, tires screeching. But as she looked in the rearview mirror, she saw them, dozens of shapes, rising from the mine in the distance, flapping their wings in the dark. They filled the sky like a swarm. She pressed harder on the gas, her breath ragged. Then the radio, which had been dead for hours, crackled to life with static, and a voice whispered through the speaker. "You can't outrun hell, Emily." The Jeep jerked violently as something landed on the roof. Metal screamed as claws tore through it. She screamed, slamming the brakes. A winged shadow crashed onto the hood, its eyes burning through the windshield. Emily opened the door and ran into the desert, barefoot, panting, the moonlight her only guide. Behind her, the creature screeched, a bone-shattering sound that echoed for miles. She stumbled and fell, scraping her knees. When she looked up, she saw the entrance to the mine ahead, its mouth black as death. Without thinking, she ran inside. The tunnel was cold, damp, and filled with the stench of decay. Her phone's flashlight flickered on weakly. On the walls, she saw claw marks and human handprints, dried in blood. A whisper followed her down the tunnel. "You shouldn't have come back." She spun around. "Who's there?" From the darkness stepped a man, or what was left of one. His eyes glowed faintly, and his skin was ashen. "We were the miners," he said, voice trembling. "We opened the gate. We thought it was a cave, but it was something else." Emily backed away. "What gate?" "The gate to hell," he said simply. "They came out, took us, made us part of them." As he spoke, his back split open with a wet sound, and black wings unfolded. His mouth stretched into an inhuman grin. "Now you're part of it too." Emily screamed and ran deeper, but the tunnel curved upward, ending in a massive cavern. At its center stood a pit of fire, glowing red. Shadows swirled around it. Hundreds of winged creatures, chanting in guttural tones. At the edge of the pit stood a figure, tall and skeletal, its wings stretching 20 feet wide. Its eyes met hers, and her mind filled with pain. "Emily Carter," it hissed. "Every sinner finds their way home, even those who run." The creatures began circling her, their wings stirring the air like a storm. Emily dropped to her knees, trembling, tears mixing with dirt. "Please, I just wanted to leave." The demon smiled. "Then fly." With a scream, the creatures descended, enveloping her in darkness. When the light faded, only a single white feather remained on the cavern floor, burning slowly to ash. By morning, the storm had passed. A state trooper driving down Highway 9 found Emily's Jeep abandoned near the old mine. The windshield was shattered, the doors clawed apart. No sign of her body. But every night after that, when the wind howled over Black Ridge, the townsfolk swore they could hear wings in the dark, and sometimes a woman's voice whispering with them. Like a bat out of hell.